Manisha Sharma, Associate Professor in School of Engineering Technology, Jaipur National University, Jaipur. In continuation of our previous lecture series on polymer chemistry, today we will discuss the mechanism and some important polymers which are used in industries. In previous lecture, we had discussed regarding type of polymers, their classification, and their general properties and synthesis. And today we will discuss the mechanism of our addition polymer and condensation polymer. Basically, polymerization divided into two categories. Number one, addition polymers or chain growth polymer, and condensation or step growth polymer, which we had already discussed earlier. Now, addition or chain growth polymer are divided in three categories. Number one, radical polymerization, means free radical polymerization. Number two, cationic polymerization, and number three, anionic polymerization. Now, in addition polymer, the active intermediates generated from the initiation step are free radicals, carbocations, and carboanions. These carbocations and carboanions possess positive and negative charges, whereas free radical possess 7 valence electrons. They have sp2 planar structure, odd electron in p orbitals, and they can be stabilized by donating an electron. In carbocation, they possess 6 valence electrons. They electron deficient. They have Lewis acid and possess +1 charge. They are planar and have sp2 hybridization and stabilized by electron donation. Whereas carboanions have -1 charge and they are normally Lewis base and have lone pair on them. They possess sp3 tetrahedral structure and stabilized by electron withdrawing group. Now we move on the preparation or mechanism of free radical mechanism. In this free radical mechanism, there are three main steps. Number one, chain initiation steps, where is the generation of free radicals are placed. Number two, chain propagation. These free radicals are reacted with another monomers, and termination step where the polymer are formed and stop the reaction. In initiation step, this monomer are break off and generate the free radical. This free radical is reacted with another monomer like ethylene and generate a small chain, or you can say small dimer. This dimer possess free radical and react with ethylene, another ethylene molecule, to convert into a long chain. And this process is ongoing to form a large chain, and finally at the termination step, this chain terminated by hydrogen free radical transfer and disproportion reaction and converted into polymerization or polymers like PVC, etc. This is the basic reaction of free radical polymerization. Number two, this is the overall reaction. In initiation step, the free radicals are generated. In propagation step, these free radicals are reacted with monomer and proceed towards the dimer and trimer and etc. These dimer trimer are further moving on and formation of long chain, and then in final terminating step, free radical coupling are break off and polymer are formed. Now, the preparation of addition polymer. In this, two categories are there: cationic polymerization and anionic polymerization. First, we will discuss cationic polymerization. In cationic polymerization, this polymerization depends on the use of cationic initiator, which include reagent capable of providing positive ions or H plus ions. As we already discussed that cations possess H plus ions or plus ions. The examples are AlCl3 and BF3 react with water and give H plus ions or cations. They are effective with monomers containing electron releasing group like methyl and phenyl group. They are reacted with these phenyl and methyl group to form carbocation or carbo generated products. The mechanism is similar to the free radical mechanism and contain 3 steps. Number 1, chain initiation step. In chain initiation step, decomposition of initiator is shown as below. Like boron trifluoride reacts with water and produce cation and form. This cation is reacted with C double bond C like alkene and another products and form carbocation. Just like this anion is reacted with vinyl monomer and form vinylene carbocation. In chain propagation step, carbocation reacts with another C double bond C, or you can say vinyl group or any other monomer which form new compound and generate a new carbocation. And this, in the third step, chain termination step, reaction is terminated by carbocation with negative ion protons or a loss of proton and finally generated a polymer. Just like this mechanism. In this, styrene react with, in the presence of H2SO4 as a catalyst to form carbocation, and this carbocation react with another vinylene monomer and form a small chain to a large chain and finally polystyrene molecule, which is a polymer as shown in the figure. Next, as we discussed cation, when the monomer reacts with anions, and these anions are in initiation step, carbo anions are formed by the simple monomeric reaction of ethylene molecule or alkyl molecule with a compound and form carboanion. This carboanion reacts with another monomer to form a small dimer or trimer chain of anions, and this anion finally reacts with a cationic molecule and form a polymer product and a byproduct. Now, this is the mechanism with example. In initiation step, secondary butyl lithium reacts with styrene to form a carboanion. This carboanion reacts with another styrene molecule to form a small dimer or trimer chain, which finally terminated and generated polystyrene molecule. This is the anionic polymerization reaction. As we already discussed the mechanism of polymerization process, now we look into some important polymers, their application and synthesis. Number 1, bakelite is very important polymer. It is widely used in the industries and other areas. Bakelite is prepared by condensing phenol and formaldehyde in presence of acid or alkaline catalyst. Basically, bakelite is commonly known as phenol formaldehyde resin. It is a resin. The initial reaction results in the formation of ortho and para hydroxyl phenol reacts with linear polymer. This polymer during modeling with hexamethyl tetramine is added, which converted the insoluble solid of cross-linked structure termed as bakelite. Commercially, it is available in two forms, Novalac and Resource. This is the reaction mechanism. In this, phenol is reacted with aldehyde and form a monomer or dimer, which is another converted into a single reaction, and during the polymerization it forms a cross-linked polymer, which is industrially commercially beneficial to the all. This is the diagrammatic structure. This pink stuff is bakelite. It is a solid. Now, property of bakelite. Phenol resins or bakelites are hard, rigid and strong materials. They have excellent heat and moisture resistance. They have good chemical resistance. They have good absorbance. They have electrical insulators. They are usually in dark color. They have low molecular weight, and low molecular weight grade had excellent bonding strength and adhesive properties. There are some industrial uses of bakelite or phenol formaldehyde resins, which are used as domestic plugs, switches, switchboards, etc. They are used in manufacturing of handles for cooker and saucepans, distributors, heads of cars, adhesive for wheels and varnishes and other electrical materials. They produce ion exchange resins. Now, very common and important and famous polymer, which is polyethylene. As we already know and heard about the very common reaction of N molecules of ethylene, N molecule of क्या हो रहा है आज?
कंटिन्यू करिए.
N molecule of ethylene polymerized to form polyethylene reaction. This polyethylene reaction perform at 150 degrees centigrade at 1500 atm pressure under the presence of traces of oxygen. The properties of polyethylene depends upon the density. It may be low density polyethylene and high density polyethylene. If we use free radical initiator, low density polymers are produced, while ionic catalyst give high density polyethylene. Polyethylenes are rigid, waxy, white solids or translucent. It is permeable to many organic solvents. Polyethylene crystallizes easily. The density of LDP is 0.91 to 0.925 gram per cubic centigrade, and HDP has a density 0.94 to 0.96. HDP possesses linear and has better chemical resistance. The industrial uses of polyethylene are, they are very useful in the preparation of insulator parts, bottle cap, flexible bottles, pipes, etc. LDP is used in the making film, sheets, pipes made of LDP are used both in agriculture, irrigation and domestic water line connections. HDP is used in manufacture of toys and other household articles. Now, polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride is another important polymer. It is obtained by heating a water emulsion of vinyl chloride in presence of small amount of benzoyl peroxide or hydrogen peroxide. Vinyl chloride is generally prepared by treating acetylene with HCl at 60 to 80 degrees centigrade in presence of methyl chloride as catalyst. Here is the reaction. This further polymerized to form polyvinyl chloride, which is a large molecule and important molecule. The properties of PVC is a colorless, rigid. It is having high density and low density softening points. It is resistant to light, atmospheric oxygen, inorganic acids and alkalis. It is most widely used in synthetic plastics. The industrial use of PVC is used as cable insulator, leather clothes, packing and toys. It is used for manufacturing thin films, sheets and floor covering. PVC pipes are used for carrying corrosive chemicals in petrochemical factories. Now, the another class of polymers is fibers. There are mainly two types of fibers. Number one, natural fibers, and number two, synthetic fibers. Natural fibers are obtained from natural sources like rubber plant and all other things, whereas synthetic fibers are modified by obtaining natural products or completely synthesized in the laboratory or in the industries. Here are few synthetic fibers like nylon, nylon 6,6 and other nylon 1,6, 1,1 and so many more. So firstly we discuss the synthesis of nylon or nylon 6. This can be prepared by self-condensation of amino carboxylic acid, which is polymerization product of carbolactam, and carbolactam is further polymerized to form a cross-linked structure with or chain structure, which is termed as nylon 6. The industrial use of nylon 6 is basically used for making tire cords. Nylon 6 is suitable for monofilaments that are used for bristles and brushes manufacturing, glass manufacturing. Nylon plastics are used in housing and casting domestic appliances, radiator parts of car and relay coil for formers. Nylon 6 is also used in mechanical engineering for well-known applications like gears, bearings, brushes, etc. They are also important for molding in medicine and pharmacy appliances. They are durable and costly hair comb. Now, the second synthetic polymer is nylon 6s, which is very common and important. Nylon 6s comes from the family synthetic polymers known as polyamide. It is a polyamide polymer. It was first introduced in 1935. Nylon 6s is a polyamide which is made up of polycondensation reaction by adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. It contains total 12 carbon atoms in each repeating unit. That means when adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine reacts and form a intermediate product which contains 12 carbons, and this 12 carbons continuously repeatedly and form a polymer which is known as nylon. Here is the reaction. It is hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid. This is adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. The properties of nylon 6,6 are: this is a linear polymer, not resistant to alkali and mineral acid. Oxidizing agents like hydrogen peroxide, potassium permanganate are able to degrade the fibers. Nylon 6 is mainly useful for molding purpose, for gear bearings, and making car tires, used for fibers, etc. This is mainly used for the manufacturing of tire cords. Other important uses are manufacturing of carpets, rope, fiber, cloths, etc. Now polyester. Terylene or polyester is a fiber which is made of ethylene glycol and tetraphthalic acid. Tetraphthalic acid required for the manufacturing of terylene is produced by catalytic environment or catalytic oxidation of paraxylene. It is a linear polymer, and this is the basic reaction of terylene manufacturing. The normal properties, or you can say physical properties, of terylene is colorless, rigid substance. This is highly resistant to mineral, organic acid, but at the same time it is less resistant to alkali. It is hydrophobic in nature. This has high melting point due to presence of aromatic ring. The main use of these polymers is mostly in making synthetic fiber. It can be blended with wool, cotton, or for better use, and wrinkle free, and it is also used to prepare wrinkle free clothes. The other application of polyethylene tetraphthalate film is in electrical screens. Now move on to rubbers. The rubbers are commonly known as elastomers. They are high polymers which have high elastic properties. Similar to the fibers, rubbers are also obtained from nature, as well as synthetic rubbers are also there. In excess 300% natural rubbers consist of basic material like latex, which is a dispersion of isoprene. During the treatment, these isoprene molecules polymerize to form a long chain polymer, which is known as cis polyisoprene. Natural rubber is made up of sap of a wide range of plants like rubber plant and other plants. Rubber obtained from these plants stored in form of white fluid called latex behind the bark of rubber tree. Now, when we chemically synthesize rubbers, or we process rubbers by inserting some other compounds like sulfur, the properties of rubber can be changed. These changed properties are termed as vulcanization of rubber. It is a process. Vulcanization is a process of heating of raw rubber at 100 to 140 degrees centigrade with sulfur for 1 to 4 hours. The sulfur combines chemically at the double bond of different rubber molecule and provide cross linkage between the chains. The degree of vulcanization depends upon the sulfur used. Tire industry normally use 3 to 5% sulfur. If the amount of sulfur increases to the 30%, a hard and rigid rubber called ebonite is produced. The manufacturer of rubber tire uses 5% of sulfur for cross-linking agent. These are the structure of vulcanized rubber, in which in simple carbon chain molecules or monomers, you can say, sulfur is inserted in between the chain and form a cross-linked structures between carbon, sulfur, carbon. And similarly in this diagram, carbon, sulfur and carbon, and enhance the durability and vulcanized of the rubber. The advantage of vulcanization: tensile strength of vulcanized rubber increases, and good, it is 10 times more than raw rubber. It has excellent resistance. The article made from it returns to the original shape when the deforming load is removed. It has better resistance to moisture, oxidation and absorption. It has much higher resistance to wear and tear compared to raw rubber. It has broader useful temperature range of from -40 to 100 degrees centigrade compared to raw rubber. It is a better electrical insulator. It has slightly tackiness. It has low elasticity. It has very easy to manipulate and vulcanized rubber to produce the desired shape. The main example of vulcanized rubber is styrene rubber or Buna S rubber. Buna S rubber is probably the most important type of synthetic rubber, which is produced by copolymerization of butadiene and styrene molecule. When butadiene reacts with n number of styrene molecule, the Buna S या butadiene styrene copolymer is formed, which is commonly known as Buna S rubber. There are some properties of Buna S rubber. Styrene rubber or Buna S rubber resemble similarly to the natural rubber in processing characteristic as well as quality of finishing products. It possesses high absorption resistance, high load bearing capacity and realization. However, it gets readily oxidized, especially in the presence of traces of ozone present in the atmosphere. It swells in oil and solvents. It can be vulcanized in the same way as natural rubber, either by sulfur or sulfur monochloride. It requires less sulfur for vulcanization. The use of these rubber are mainly in manufacture of motor tire. The other use of these rubbers are making in floor tiles, shoe soles, gaskets, footwears and other wire and cable insulators. Thank you. So students, this is all of the polymer and related polymerization processes, their mechanism and classification, etc. Hope you understand very well hope you understand the polymerization and polymers completely, and they are very useful for you and they are very useful in every field in engineering. Like we can use polymers in our electrical field as insulators and other things. We can use in electrical field also. We can use in computer field also, in food chemistry, in biotechnology, etc. and so on. Thank you so much.